Hi class, good job on the first activity of flag pulling. We will go into our second activity now, which is also a defensive focused drill, which is backpedaling. Before we get into backpedaling, can someone tell me what positions exactly do backpedaling? Good, pretty much the corners or the safeties will predominantly be doing the backpedal because they will be covering someone. So first off, before we get into any movement, we want to focus on the backpedal position itself. So first, you will start off an athletic stance. So you can start off with staggered stance or straight-legged stance. We will go down, athletic stance, kind of like you're squatting or sitting down, having more. We have bend in our knees, in our hip, not our back being straight, and our arms going to be relaxed. We'll be doing this a few times, just focusing on that backpedaling stance. Keep on doing it. And now once you have that stance down, we can start working on movement itself. So first off, we want to focus more on the fundamentals than speed. We want to be doing this about 25% as our max speed. So first off, athletic stance, or a backpedal stance, just how we just taught it, pretty much like an athletic stance. And then we will be going backwards like this, having some movement in our arms when we're going back. It is like pretty much like running forward but backwards, so you're going to have the same fundamentals in our upper body with our arms, but when we're going backwards. So again, just like this, going backwards. We will be doing this 3 or 4 times at that slow speed. If we are in trouble with the movement and if we're not doing the proper stance, so if we're instead of like this, we're like this, or if we're like this, where we don't have bend in our hips, in our knees, we can just focus on the stance itself before we get into speed. If we are having an easy time with it, and if we've done this movement before, we can start working on speed, and eventually we could even get into some different directions, so we can start doing it like an S way, kind of like a weaving motion. So let's get into it. Before we close out, make sure you give out a compliment and to fill out your slip throughout it, just so, again, we can have a positive classroom environment during it. So let's get into some backpedaling.